This feeling where you're scrolling your phone and you know you should put your phone away. You feel this physical anxiety in your stomach building up, but you can't put your phone away. You can't. You keep scrolling until your mind is completely fried and you don't know even what to think about anymore. We call it just scrolling my phone, you know. It's not that deep, bro. I think it's the deepest thing that there is, because your mind is monetized. Your mind is monetized for ad space. It's monetized for shitty coaching courses, get rich quick schemes, or to buy a weird looking candle on TikTok shop. You're being monetized, which means you don't control your mind. You don't have ownership over your mind. Let's put it like this. The fact that you are put in a position where you're just consuming, or for that matter, you have a job where you are creating an output of additional value someone else has ownership over. And so if you don't control your mind, you don't control your bank accounts. And so you don't control your calendar or your location, because now you are put in a position where you need to work a job to make ends meet. And that's the rat race, right? But that's not even the last symptom of that chain. The last symptom of that chain is freedom of expression. You are not free to express your soul, yourself in your life. And that's always been the most painful idea that for some reason I have been thinking about since I was very young, that I couldn't take this normal path, because that would mean I cannot express myself as I want to. So that whole cycle of not being free to express yourself, your location, your calendar, your bank account, even physically being locked into position, it all stems from either monetizing your mind or not. And monetizing your mind very simply means, are you creating or are you consuming? That is the big question of this modern age. Are you sitting at home consuming everything that's made, or are you partaking in this digital landscape that everybody is still getting used to? I mean, this is relatively new. This just scrolling my phone, we act like we've been doing this for centuries, but it's just literally we just started doing this. It isn't normal to sit at home scrolling emotional highs and lows. So right now, do you partake in this digital real estate? Do you claim your own real estate by, I don't know, making videos like this, sharing your ideas, sharing your methods, your work, your stories, your character, collecting your tribe of people, working together with them, working for them? This is about sovereignty. And there is literally just 3 things you can do to become sovereign, to take ownership, to monetize your mind, and to create a positive chain of symptoms rather than that negative chain that we just highlighted. And so here are the 3 only things you can do, and also in the right order, so that you can monetize yourself and be sovereign. Number 1 is to control your attention. There is no point in thinking about making money until you have successfully taken back control over your attention. The attention that everybody is fighting over. And the thing that should motivate you, because it should piss you off a little bit, is that nobody should really control you, man. You're on your phone and you can't put it away. It should piss you off a little bit that you've lost control. And in my experience, the best way to tackle this is to slay the dragon immediately, which is porn. This is the highest dopamine hit that you can manufacture yourself, besides cocaine, which is slightly higher, because that's what this is about. It's about you balancing, restoring your dopamine reward system. And porn masturbation is 100% the trigger that creates this cascading effect, where you're now also binge eating, playing video games, smoking cigarettes, and so on and so forth. So step 1, take back control. Start with the actual dragon in your life, whether that is porn or the next best thing that's really controlling you at the moment. Set a new standard. Create a new identity that you are not going to become, that you are already. that is the new standard that you live by. And be him every day. Once you've got a sense of control again, then here are the only two ways in which you can become sovereign in this modern digital world. Number 2 is build a thing that creates and stores value for you. So that's an online business. Because let's keep this simple. If you don't own a thing that can create more value than you selling your time, then you will forever not be free. Unless you build something that can work for you, that can store and create value, then you will be selling your time, either in a job format or you're working with clients on the hour. Even with a high-paying job, you will still never be free, because every single dollar that you make will be tied to the time that you put into that, which also feels very uncomfortable. That will forever create this feeling where $7,000 in your bank account feels like the time that it cost you to create that amount of money. So objectively, you can never be free unless you have a business. You need your own products so that you can build something that can free you of your time. And then third, the other only thing that you can build besides your own products and business is your own audience. Meaning you having your own distribution and your own products creates absolute sovereignty. You are now independent of other people's distribution or selling your own time, which is total freedom. Allows you to design that little world that you're building online, the real estate, the property that you're building in this online world, allows you to design it exactly how you want to, coming from a creative, authentic place, and you can monetize it as far as your ambitions let you. And here's exactly how you can not just start to create content that builds an audience fast, but to do it in a way that can be very quickly monetized. Where everybody is going left and doing this high editing, AI, prompts, let everybody do that shit. You focus on these 3 things. Focus on your stories and storytelling. Take any popular ideas already proven to work and provide your perspective on those working ideas. So focus on your perspective. And I'll tie back into this in a second. And then lastly, focus on sharing your methods. Again, your methods. Don't try to make the best methods or say this is the absolute best way to... Don't become one of those guys. Just focus on your stories, your perspectives, and your solutions. This is how you create this little world. You're not trying to compete with anyone, and nobody for that reason can compete with you. This is your world. It's how you solve the problem. It's your stories, it's your perspective. This is how you attract people similar to you who are probably right behind you in the journey of getting what people like you want. You and your tribe, you want similar things. You've had similar pains and desires, and you can give it to those people that are right behind you. You serving like a GPS in a way. True sovereignty is controlling your own attention, having your own products, and having an audience to sell it to. But here's the cool part that nobody's talking about. And I believe that this is kind of the whole climax to the whole story, or at least my perspective on this. First of all, as you start to build your own products and audience, you'll notice how you are just not a consumer anymore. You will not be consuming, it just changes everything. You become so much more conscious about what you consume, and everything that you consume kind of goes through the lens of a creator now. It's like, why am I watching this? You cannot be a creator and a consumer at the same time. You are either in a consumer phase or in a creator phase. And still, I granted, right? I still have these consumer phases where I'm kind of fighting with myself in this first pillar that we talked about, gaining back my own attention. But in general, I am a creator, and when I'm in that mood, you cannot be a consumer. But more importantly, and I promise you this, as you start to build an audience, as you start to produce content and having the guts to publish it to strangers on the internet, I think when you do a personal brand correctly, and I'm still learning, you creating content, thinking, writing scripts, the whole process, it becomes more than a personal brand. It becomes you going home to yourself. You learning what authentic really is. Not authentic like, oh, I guess this is gonna do well in front of the camera if I do more this and no. Just genuinely becoming authentic. You coming home to yourself. That's what happens in the journey of content creation and building an audience. And the better you can get at this, true vulnerability, authenticity, the more you also grow. Because people can tell. Whether you have a cool haircut or not, or you're tall or not, or whatever, doesn't matter. Those who can be truly authentic, those are the ones that build brands and do best in this online world. And so the journey motivates you to come home to yourself, to your true self. And how fucking awesome is that? So I guess in a way, in a very cool way, the journey to worldly freedom, right? The resources and all the yada yada money is also the journey to personal freedom, to authenticity. That is the path of the sovereign creator. Worldly freedom and personal freedom in unison. To work towards worldly freedom, yes, because why not? And personal freedom at the same time, in unison. And I think that is the ultimate goal for any man. There's a bunch of resources in the community, and you can also talk to me directly. So if you're a coach, consultant, or creator, join the community. And if you want to have my whole system behind the scenes and how I make my money, then click on this video. And yeah, those are all my free things that you can steal. See you in the next one. Bye.